Join me as we enter week 2. Welcome back, everybody. Today's pretty exciting because we're going to do our first full week of the quest calendar, Souls of Saraku, and do a little recap here. Last week we got a letter from a crow, which it was so hard to decipher that it actually hurt our brain. So we lost a health point. We started out real nice, and then we had to find some ingredients, which we botched that too. Um, as the one guy put it, we were like a troll. But then we actually came back and we totally redeemed ourselves and had a spell efficiency of 5. So we found out that the army of righteousness is knocking at the door. And that's where we left off. So we'll start from there. Um, and with that, we're going to go on to the first day here. And it's Monday, January 5th. Moon's Day, Deep Winter 5. Come, we must meet. We must bring this news to the Overlord. The High Mage strides from the ritual chamber, and you follow in his wake. As you approach the throne room, the air grows thick with the oppressive weight of the Overlord's presence. Each step feels heavy, as though the shadows themselves are crawling at your soul. And I guess that must be the big bad. There's nowhere to. I was hoping there would be somewhere to pickpocket him. I thought that'd be pretty funny if we ended up stealing some money from him or something, but of course, that's not going to be the case. With that, this will be our first check. So here's just a little rule reminder, and it's here. You do one, then you either choose 2A or 2B. So whenever there's A, B, or C, you do all of them in order, and then there's a number. You have to actually do the number and then, or pick a number, and that's it. So number 1, we're going to endure the fierce gaze of the Overlord. Roll a d20 plus Constitution. So let's just see that first. And we have a +1 on our Constitution. So, oh, there we go. Yeah, a 1 plus 1 is 2. All right, so we're starting this week out great. Must be just something with the first roll of the day. So you enter the throne room, and the seer force of the Overlord's malice nearly drives you to your knees. The High Mage begins to speak, his voice trembling. My lord, he quivers, bowing deeply. The armies of light have united. They march upon the dark citadel. We have cast a divination spell to observe their forces in detail. I believe their strength may be too great. Silence, the Overlord growls. His eyes burn with malice as he raises a hand, and the High Mage begins to rise off the floor, choking on invisible bonds. Your sniveling disgusts me. His gaze turns to you, piercing through you like a blade. Speak, tell me exactly what you saw. The Overlord's fiercely gaze seems to burn into your very soul. You open your mouth to speak, but feel the courage falter. Well, our result was definitely less than 13, so the Overlord's overwhelming presence crushes your resolve. Words fail you, sticking in your throat like stones. Speak, he roars, sending a searing stab of dark energy through your chest, reducing your health by D4. Okay, that was fun. I guess we're a coward. So we only lost 1 health. So we will go from 9 to 8. Sometimes this doesn't want to write on here. There we go. So then we'll have to do either 2. Let's see. So number 2, we do 2A or 2B. And it's take a stance. Will you defend the High Mage or seize the chance to prove your own worth? Well, we could speak up for the High Mage or choose to claim the Overlord's trust. Well, we are a coward, so I don't know. I think we will choose to claim the Overlord's trust. I don't know if we want to stick up for him, seeing as how we're so scared as it is. And we just see what happened to him. Overlord, the High Mage underestimates your power, you say boldly, stepping forward. You exclaim the enemy's formations, numbers, and likely strategies. You even offer suggestions on how to dismantle their forces. The Overlord's eyes flare with contempt. Worm, he snarls. How dare you presume to advise me? With a flick of his hands, you are lifted into the air as the High Mage was moments ago. This is a lesson I will not teach again. Do not presume to know more than your betters. He clenched his fist clenched, and you are slammed to the floor, crushing with crushing force. Reduce your health by 1. Okay, we're just getting smacked all around here, aren't we? We spoke out of place. We're a coward. Let's see, can anything else go wrong on this day? The Overlord sneers, his voice cold and venomous. So, the armies of light dare march upon my gates, and they come for my soul crystal? A sinister grin spreads across his face. Let them come. They know nothing of the power they face. For centuries, my soul crystal has feasted on the souls of the fallen, growing stronger with every death. Its power is now absolute. He turns to the High Mage. Prepare the soul crystal. The time has come to show the world the true might of darkness. Okay, so that was not the best first day. I guess it could have been worse, maybe. I don't know how, but all right, so day number 2. We have Tuesday, January 6th, 2026. So we'll look through the page real quick. We don't see um, no way to steal or no way to get resources, pickpocket. So the High Mage rushes you out of the throne room with urgency. Come, we have no time to waste. He leads you out of the throne room and into a large study. Its light is both alluring and sinister, casting flickering shadows on the wall. Darkness whispers creep into your mind. Take me. Use my power. Corrupt the light. Snuff it out. Okay? Worm, barks the High Mage. Focus. We prepare a spell for the Overlord. We do not have time for distractions. This will be the most important and most dangerous spell you will ever cast, the High Mage explains. When the Overlord activated the Soul Crystal, no soul could pass into the afterlife. Instead, the crystal has feasted on souls of the fallen, trapping their essence within. Now, we begin the process of releasing that power so the Overlord may consume it. Once he does, his strength will be absolute. The High Mage pulls on ancient tomes from the shelf and shoves it into your hands, his sharp gaze leaving no room for hesitation. You have very little time to practice this spell, so do it quickly, but flawlessly. The Overlord will not tolerate mistakes. Yeah, obviously, he just threw us to the ground and him. Begin at Soul Crystal Power Level 1. Note this down somewhere for further use. You may be able to increase the level you perform as you perform the spell. Okay, so what we got here? Soul Crystal Power. Soul Power. Then we have level 1. Everything is so small on here. It's the only thing. I wish these were just a little bit bigger. But I get it. Okay, so 1. Familiarize yourself with the spell from ancient texts. Roll d20 plus intellect. Remember, student. So we do have arcane knowledge here, and once per page, re-roll any d20 plus intellect roll and take the new result. So with this roll, if it's not a good roll, we can get a re-roll at least. And Our intellect is 3. Oh, okay. 16 plus 3. We have 19. Obviously, we're not going to roll that. We got to remember boons too. We can add a d4 to a roll if we want to. The ancient texts are written in an archaic language with diagrams and notations that only a keen mind can decipher. So, oh wow. And we need a 15 or more, which we got. You masterfully interpret the text, uncovering not only the proper method, but also hidden enchantments to strengthen the spell. Increase the soul crystal power by 2. Keep note of this somewhere for further use. Okay, so now we have soul power goes 1 to a 3. Okay. So number 2, for and isolate any magical interference by rerouting the enemy's flow. Roll a d20 plus wisdom. Remember Arcane Adept. So Arcane Adept lets me add +2 to magic with non-combat roll. So we have a d20 plus wisdom, so our wisdom is 0. And we got an 11. So we got 11 plus 2 is 13. So not terrible. Let's see. So our result was between 8 and 14. So you managed to practically reroute the energy, but lingering interference remains, making the spell casting more dangerous. Increase the soul crystal power by +1. Keep note of this somewhere for further use. Okay, so now we're at 4. Okay. Number 3, memorize the chants and gestures. Roll d20 plus charisma. Remember, student. So this is for the other character, the remembers, like the student. That would have been if we picked the Kronmeyer. So we're going to get no bonus on this. And our charisma is a -2. So I'm half tempted to use our boon here, which I think we're going to. Let's use our boon. So we get rid of that boon. And we get to roll a d4 with the d20. I don't even know if we should have because we're at a -2 right off the bat. Wow. We just got I guess it was a boon. We just got a max out roll. 4 plus a 20. So we get another boon. You only have one at a time. That was crazy. I go from rolling ones. It's every day. The first roll of the day is just not good. So, performing the sequence of chants and gestures is the foundation of the spell's success. So we got 15 or more. The chants and gestures become second nature to you, flowing like a well-rehearsed performance. Increase the soul power level by 2. Note this down somewhere. All right, so that should end up being pretty good because we got a 6 on that, which that means we almost maxed it out. Yeah, we almost had that maxed out. And with that, that was day 2. Yeah, they really start to flow once you start getting in the rhythm of the stuff. Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. Wednesday, Deep Winter 7. I kind of like how the days are like Wednesday. That's pretty funny with the deep winter. And if you live where I live, yeah, you know we're in deep winter. We keep getting pounded with snow. The High Mage watches you sharply, his impatience palpable. Do not falter. Once the ritual begins, there will be no turning back. The dark whispers of the soul crystal grow louder, but you push them aside. And I doubt there's going to be any kind of any kind of stuff here, seeing how we have to concentrate. There's no way they're going to let us pickpocket or anything like that. Before you begin, a blast is heard from the castle yard below. The attack has begun. The armies of light are at the doorstep. We must complete this. Steel yourself and do not get distracted, yells the high mage. So, number one, concentrate on the completion of the spell. Roll a d20 plus constitution. So, constitution, we're at +1. This is the one that we botched last time, constitution. So, we get +1. So, we get 13 plus 1. So, we have 14. The weight of what you're about to do presses on you. Failure is not an option. So, the result is 11 or more. You keep your mind sharp and focus on the task at hand. The magic flows from you and mixes with the other forces. You feel the terrifying power within the crystal feeding even now. It is ready to burst. Gain +2 bonus to cast the spell on number 2, 3, and 4 below. So we're going to, oh, that's nice. So we get a bonus on the next ones. So use the correct hand gesture. Roll a d20 plus dexterity, which, oh, so we got a -1. Yeah, should we roll our boon? We do get a +2. So, no, we're not going to do that because we get a +2 on all the future rolls. So let's see what we get. So dexterity, we're at -1. So we get a 6, we have a 5. Okay. Your precision and finesse with your movements will determine how stable the spell becomes. So if the result is 5 or less, which it's not, because we do have a 6, so we had a 5 plus the 2, so the result is between 6 and 14. Your movements are adequate but lack the grace needed to perform execution. Level, okay, so yeah, we don't get nothing for that. Okay. Recite the incantation. Roll d20 plus charisma. So we have a -2 on the charisma. So we're actually gonna roll this, and with our thing, we're actually gonna get with our +2, we are just gonna have it's gonna be a wash, so it's gonna be a 0. We are using our boon. We're gonna get this d4. So we get 7 plus 2 is 9. So if the result is between 6 and 14, the incantation flows smoothly, though it doesn't channel the full potential of the spell. All right, so we get no more bonus there. 4, focus your mind and mental energy. Roll a d20 plus wisdom. Reminder, arcane adept. So that means we're going to get a +2 to this roll, plus another 2 because of the initial one. So 14, 16, 18. So our result is 15 or more. Your mental focus is unbreakable, empowering the spell and protecting you from backlash. Increase the soul crystal power level by 1. Keep note of this somewhere. So now we're at 7. If your health was reduced to 0, the high mage snarls. Okay, so that didn't happen. So I don't think we even have to read that. We'd had to roll really bad to get the 0 there. I don't even know how that would happen. Yeah, I don't even understand. I guess we'd had to roll all the negative numbers. Okay. So I don't think we have to read any of this. So our health wasn't reduced to 0. So I guess we don't read this, but we will read this part. I still have more to do, the high mage shouts, his voice sharp and commanding. He points towards the door, his gaze burning with urgency. The battle rages outside. Take your place in the hallway and hold this chamber. Let no intruder set foot within, or all shall be lost. Keep the soul crystal power level total noted somewhere for further use. it will be much, it'll be used much later in the game. So it's 7, and I think we'll write that on the notes page. So we'll do we'll write it on the other side down here, since I think we'll be switching characters here. All right, so we're gonna get some new people here. So this is our first new character, Kargoth, Storm Cleaver. Okay, well, he definitely looks like he's an orc battle master. Strength is more than muscle. I know when to strike, where to strike, and when to break through instead of breaking apart. I, I fight not to survive, but to conquer. Kargoth Stormcleaver was born into war. His first lessons were learned on the battlefield, where the weak were crushed and the strong rose above the corpses of their foes. He was never content to just be another warrior. Strength alone is not enough. A blade is only as sharp as the mind that wields it. He does not just fight, he pushes his body to the edge of what is possible and then beyond. He studies the art of war. He knows how to break an enemy before the first strike lands, and how to turn the tide of a battle with a decisive blow. He has mastered his body, his instincts, and soon he will master the battlefield itself. Karlosh, the merciless, the Overlord's commander, taught Karloff the ways of leadership, watching how armies move, wars are won. Before the battle even begins, he absorbs every lesson, knowing that one day he will not be the student, he will be the master, the Overlord's war chief. And the one he's about to, Karloff, does not dream of power. He marches towards it, one victory at a time. Okay, so he looks like a commander type style. Obviously, he's going to be a fighter, so he gets +3 up to his strength. Yeah, intimidation. So yeah, he's definitely all about attacking. So pretty cool. I like this little guy here though, this little goblin. Nargel, Night Bane. A big brute swinging wild in hopes for the best. I strike once where it matters and make it count. Strength is just an illusion for the slow. Gnarl Nightbane was never the biggest nor the strongest among goblins. That meant he had to be quick, dead. He chose to be quick. From the moment he could crawl, he was slipping through cracks and dodging fists that sought to smash him into the dirt. When he got older, he realized something. Brute force wins battles, but cleverness wins wars. A well-placed dagger does what 100 swords cannot. Gnarl fights with speed and precision, slipping between foes before they even know he was there. He knows how to turn a pack of goblins into a deadly swarm. Alone, he is dangerous. With others, he is unstoppable. He does not fight fair, because only fools do, but cheats and backstabs, and he never plays by the rules. He serves the Overlord for now, but only because it benefits him. His eyes are set on something greater. One day the goblins will rise, and he'll be the one leading them. Not a warlord, not a chieftain, a king. Gnarl Nightbane was never meant to be just another goblin. He was meant to rule. Okay, so let's see here. Goblin Filth Reaper. A slippery shadow, a cunning mind, and a blade always waiting. Okay, so I like this guy. He's a little bit weak on the strength, 1 strength. Not very bright. His intellect is -4. But He can bypass or open locks. He can pick for more money. So let's see here. We can. Who do we want to be here? I think we have to pick one of these for the next set. I think I like this guy's backstory better, but I like him overall better. And we don't have to pick him also because I think this is just like a little test run here. So let's go with Kargoth here. So all right, so this is our new guy here. And I don't know if we carry any of our gold over or anything. He starts with 11 hit points. And his special abilities, he has intimidating, add +2 to rolls to threaten and intimidate. And once per page, reroll any d20 strength roll and take the new result. And then once per rest, add d6 to all attack rolls on page. Okay, so that's pretty powerful. He has 3 strength, 1 negative dexterity, 1 constitution, negative intellect and wisdom, and charisma. Yeah, so he's all about fighting. That's about it. All right, so we got here. We have Thursday, January 8th, 2026, Thorns Day, Deep Winter 8. The ground shakes beneath you as the perimeter wall erupts in flames and stone, sending debris and smoke into the sky. When the dust settles, a swarm of arrows blots out the sun, descending towards your forces. Around you, goblins, the dark allies, scramble for cover. In the chaos, Goros the Merciless raises his jagged blade and his voice booming. Get your lazy green butts out there and show them what it means to be goblins. Show them the strength of the Dark Citadel. And there looks like there's no hidden things on this page. So I guess the goblins are the grunts. So 1, dodge the rain of arrows, d20 plus defense. So we have a defense of 3. So we have a 19 plus 3, so that's well over the top. Before the battle can even begin, you must survive the opening barrage. If your result is 15 or more, you avoid the hail of arrows, remaining unscathed. So number 2, help allies in the chaos. As the breakout begins, you spot wounded and struggling allies who might be useful to you. So we have 2A or 2B. So we get to pick one of these. So we can pull a goblin free or loot the fallen ally. Well, I think we're gonna help. I think we're gonna help the poor goblin. We just sent them out there. Doesn't seem right to just let them go. So we get a +3 here, and we get an 8 plus 3. So if the result, or it's 10 or less, which it wasn't. So if the result is 11 or more, you pull the goblin free, and he decides to stay by your side during the battle. Gain 1 minion. So this is something we haven't seen yet. We get to gain minions, which we can use them, I think, to help with rolls or something later in the game. We haven't got that far, so we'll find out. So, well, so let's go to 3, rallying for the battle. With the arrows fading and battle cries rising, you have a moment to find an advantageous position or to intimidate the enemy. So we can get to a better position, or we can intimidate the enemy from afar. So we know that he likes to intimidate because we do get a +2 to all the rolls. So I think in his backstory is he's a commander. So let's do intimidate the enemy from afar. Roll a d20 plus strength. So we get a +3 and we get a +2 to our rolls, and it reminds us right here, intimidating. So we get a +5. Oh, that's good. 4, so plus 5 is 9. So the result is 10 or less. So your attempts to scare the enemy make you a target instead. Take a -2 penalty on all defense rolls on the next page. That's pretty funny. So we'll note that down. -2 defense. Next page. Yeah, so I get up there and I guess we try to be serious, like sometimes when I do with my kids, and they laugh at me. So it can happen in real life too. So this looks like it might be our first battle here. So Friday, January 9th, 2026, Fruits Day, Deep Winter, Day 9. You witness a grim spectacular on the battlefield. Toby Goldleaf, a halfling cleric and one of the famed heroes of the light, cuts through your allies with ease. With a calm, almost effortless motion, he turns his attention to you, preparing to unleash a radiant fury of his god. Okay. So he's just cutting through, making his way towards us because we're the big bad on the battlefield, I guess. In a fight, you always want to take down the biggest guy first. So avoid his radiant blast. Roll a d20 plus dexterity. So that's not going to be good. We have a -1 on our dexterity. So we have a 3. Okay, so a 2. Yep, okay. So a halo of golden energy flares around him as he rises a hand skyward. Then, with a casual flick, divine power streaks down like a fleeting comet. So our roll is less than 10. A surge of divine energy slams into you with crushing force, the raw power of his deity fueling every strike. Reduce your health by 1. Okay. Not very good, getting smacked around already. Down to 10. Endure the judgment of the light. Roll d20 plus constitution. So we have a constitution of a 1. So we get a +1. So 14, 15. So waves of holy light ripple outward, toppling the weak and testing the strong. So if the result is 10 or less, nothing happens. If the result is 11 or more, you grit your teeth and endure, standing firm against searing radiance. So now we have to fight the hero, our first combat here. So this is a little rule. It's going to walk us through how to combat. If your attack roll equals or exceeds the enemy defense, you hit. Otherwise, you miss. If you hit and your damage roll equals or exceeds the enemy's health, the enemy is stunned. If you miss or the enemy is not stunned, it attacks. If your defense roll equals or exceeds the enemy's attack, reduce your health by the enemy's attack. Partial damage. Otherwise, reduce your health by the enemy's full damage. If you defeat the enemy, gain the gold. So basically, well, I'll go through when we get to it. Golden energy crackles in his palm. Before he thrusts it forward, a beam of divine wrath races towards you with effortless precision. Roll a d20, so then roll damage, then a d20 for defense if we don't kill him. So looks like we're going to fight him for 2 rounds here. And round 1, he has a defense of 13. And we can add 2, or with our Skull Splitter ability, which we are going to activate, we can, once per rest, so that's when we rest, so next time we'll get to reactivate this because we're going to use it this time. We get to add d6 to all attack rolls on the page. So I wonder if we should save this, but I think we're going to use it. It's our first fight, so let's see. So we're definitely going to use that. We'll make a little note here that that's gone now. And we get a +1 on our attack. So we're going to get a 6 + 1 for a 7. So we roll a 19. Oh, almost got a boon. Okay. So we did enough damage to get past his 13 defense. And we roll 1d10 for damage. So we're going to roll a d10. Let's see what we get here. We got 7 plus, yes, we got a 7. So we did more than his health. So his attack would have been 13. We would have had to roll for damage. But since we attacked for more than his health, we stunned him. So with that being said, we're going to get a coin. So we gain $1. I don't know how that works. We hit him so hard he drops a penny or something. But if we wouldn't have got so much damage, we would have had to roll for defense, which we would have rolled. We had a 15 plus 3 for 18. And the way that works is he has a 13, so we did more defense than his attack, so we would have took half his damage. So his full damage was 2, his half damage was 1. That's the way it works. So that was round 1. So just a flick of his wrist, Toby unleashes a radiant burst, the light searing through the air like judgment of an awful god. So roll d20 plus attack, then we roll damage, then we roll defense. So we're going to go to round 2. So now he's going to be a little bit harder. He gets 14, but once again, we have a plus 7 to our attack. So we got 18. That's plenty. So once again, we get to cut through it. Otherwise, if we didn't do enough, we would have missed him. So we wouldn't even been able to do damage. So we're going to roll our d10 here. So we did 1. So we only did 1 damage. So we do not stun him. So he's going to attack us. Now he's going to attack with 14, plus we get a -2 on our defense. But we get a plus 3 on our defense. So it's only a -1. So 17, 15. So we had enough to block it. So we do no damage. And I got to see if we still get $1 since we missed it. I'm not really sure. So, if you defeat the enemy, gain the gold. Okay, so we didn't do that. So are far outmatched by his power and skill. You hope for a miracle. So with that, so not terrible. We got to knock him down once, but obviously it wasn't enough. So Saturday/Sunday, January 10th or 11th, 2026. Stars Day, Sun's Day, Deep Winter, 10/11. And we do see a little gold pouch here. So yeah, let's pickpocket him in the middle of a battle. We have nothing else to worry about but gold. So we get 2 on the gold. I guess when you see gold, I mean, you got to go for it regardless. Before Tobin Godleaf can strike the final blow, Gorlash and the mercenaries step forward to challenge the hero. You watch as the 2 warriors clash, steel ringing against steel. Gorlash holds his ground, matching Toby's strength with sheer ferocity, but the battle turns against him. With the final devastating strike, Gorlash falls. Okay, so I guess we ended up getting smacked down. Clear space. Roll a d20 plus defense. So our defense is 3, but we get a -1. Oh, a 1, an auto fail. All right. Goleaf turns away, clashing with another foe, leaving you to face the battlefield alone. Gorlash lies, injured amidst the chaos, his gaze locking onto you. He extends his hand, his final command unspoken but urgent. You must reach him through the storm of battle. Well, that's going to be hard. So less than 7. You weave through the clashing warriors, but an elven soldier steps into your path. You barely have time to react before his blade strikes you. Pain sears through your side. Reduce your health by 1. Yeah, we're not that nimble. I mean, if you see this big old guy coming through the battlefield, you're going to take a shot at him for sure. The final words. Gorlash lies before you, his body broken on the battlefield. Blood stains his armor as he struggles for breath. His gaze locks onto yours. Filled with urgency, get to the castle, he rasps. Shut the gates. Lock them tight. Do not let the heroes inside. Find the Overlord. Warn him. We need his wrath to crush this enemy. He pushes a satchel towards you. Here, you'll need this. Gain 1 health potion, 1 combat tonic, 1 dragon fire. With that, his grip loosens and his final order is given. Rule. See your inventory sheet for a description of what these items can be consumed for. So, let's see. Here's our inventory. So we get a health potion. We have a health potion here. And this can be consumed on use, restored D4 health. Can't be used in combat. So we can't use that in combat. We have to use it before or after. We gain a combat tonic, which is here. Consume on use. You get a D4 to a single attack roll. And we get a Dragon's Fire, which is here. Consume on use, add D4 to a single damage roll. Okay, so we must have a big battle coming up if we're getting all this stuff. So we have 3A. We can end his suffering or let him die alone. Well, I think we should end his suffering. Yeah, for sure. So end his suffering. Gold Leaf Strike has left Gorlash barely clinging to life. Though he cannot no longer fight, his pride will not allow him to beg for mercy. If you do nothing, he will bleed out in agony, his finest moments spent in suffering. You grip your blade and deliver the final blow, granting him a warrior's death. His body will not be left to your enemies to disgrace it. So we're going to gain 1 notoriety. And this is kind of, I think, how you level up. I think when you get 20, you drop back down. It just lets you basically level up. Okay. So we're going to lose this -2 on defense. And we're down to 9 health. And we could... because it's Sunday, we could roll for a lottery, but I don't think we're going to. Last time we rolled for it, we lost gold, so I don't really feel like rolling for it. And we're in the middle of a battle. It just doesn't feel like a lottery day to me. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. They'll pick up speed once you don't get the new characters and once we get all the rules down. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm excited for the story, and that was only the first full week. So with that, thanks for watching and subscribe. Hey, I really appreciate you watching, and if you like what you watched, please subscribe.